If you not subscribed, please subscribe the channel and click the bell button for more videos.
Teacher. Hello students. Welcome back. Today we are going to study an important human physiology chapter, body fluids and circulation. Student. Sir, is this chapter mainly about blood and heart? Teacher. Yes, but not only that. We will learn how blood transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and wastes, how lymph helps in transport and immunity, how the heart pumps blood, how ECG records heart activity, and how circulation disorders occur. Student. So this chapter explains how materials move inside our body? Teacher. Exactly. Think of your body like a big city. Blood vessels are roads, blood is the transport vehicle, and the heart is the pump station that keeps everything moving. Full teacher explanation in easy English. 1. Why do we need circulation? Every living cell needs oxygen, nutrients, and essential substances. At the same time, cells produce waste substances like carbon dioxide, which must be removed. In simple animals, water can move through body cavities and help in exchange. But in complex animals like humans, special body fluids are needed. The two important body fluids are blood, main transport fluid, lymph, tissue fluid that helps in transport and immunity. Real-life example. Imagine a city without transport. Food, oxygen, water, and waste removal will stop. Similarly, without circulation, body cells cannot survive. 2. Blood. Blood is a special connective tissue. It has plasma, fluid part, formed elements, cells and cell fragments. Blood transports oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, hormones, and wastes. 3. Plasma. Plasma is straw-colored and viscous. It forms about 55% of blood. Plasma contains water, about 90 to 92%. Proteins, about 6 to 8%. Minerals, sodium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate, chloride. Glucose, amino acids, and lipids. Clotting factors. Important plasma proteins. Fibrinogen, helps in blood clotting. Globulins, help in body defense. Albumins, maintain osmotic balance. Plasma without clotting factors is called serum. Real-life example. Plasma is like the liquid road on which blood cells and nutrients travel. 4. Formed elements of blood. Formed elements are RBCs, WBCs, platelets. They form about 45% of blood. 5. RBCs, red blood cells. RBCs are also called erythrocytes. They are the most abundant blood cells. A healthy adult male has about 5 to 5.5 million RBCs per superscript 3 of blood. Important points. RBCs are formed in red bone marrow. In most mammals, RBCs have no nucleus. They are biconcave in shape. They contain hemoglobin. Hemoglobin helps in transport of respiratory gases. RBC lifespan is about 120 days. Old RBCs are destroyed in the spleen. So spleen is called the graveyard of RBCs. Real-life example. RBCs are like oxygen delivery trucks. Hemoglobin is the oxygen-carrying box inside the truck. 6. WBCs, white blood cells. WBCs are also called leukocytes. They are colorless because they do not have hemoglobin. They are nucleated and fewer than RBCs. Average number is about 6,000 to 8,000 per superscript 3 of blood. WBCs are of two main groups: granulocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils. Agranulocytes, lymphocytes, monocytes. Functions. Neutrophils, most abundant WBCs, phagocytic, destroy foreign organisms. Monocytes, phagocytic cells. Basophils, secrete histamine, serotonin, and heparin, involved in inflammation. Eosinophils resist infections and are associated with allergic reactions. Lymphocytes, B and T cells, responsible for immune responses. Real-life example. WBCs are like soldiers and police in the body. They protect us from harmful invaders. 7 platelets. Platelets are also called thrombocytes. They are cell fragments produced from megakaryocytes in bone marrow. Normal platelet count is about 1,50,000 to 3,50,000 per mm superscript 3 of blood. Main function: blood clotting. If platelet count is low, clotting problems may occur and excessive bleeding can happen. Real-life example. Platelets are like emergency repair workers. When a blood vessel is damaged, they come quickly and help seal the wound. 8 blood groups. ABO system. ABO blood grouping is based on antigens A and B present on RBCs and antibodies present in plasma. Blood group A, antigen A, antibody anti-B. Blood group B, antigen B, antibody anti-A. Blood group AB, antigens A and B, no antibodies. Blood group O, no antigens, antibodies anti-A and anti-B. Important. O group is called universal donor. AB group is called universal recipient. Why matching is important. If wrong blood is transfused, RBCs can clump and cause serious problems. Real-life example. Blood group matching is like checking whether a key fits a lock. Wrong match can create danger. 9 Rh blood group. Rh antigen is present on RBCs in about 80% of humans. Rh antigen present, Rh positive. Rh antigen absent, Rh negative. Rh factor must be matched before blood transfusion. Special case. If an Rh negative mother carries an Rh positive foetus, the first pregnancy may not be seriously affected. But during delivery, mother may be exposed to fetal Rh positive blood and produce antibodies. In later pregnancies, these antibodies may destroy fetal RBCs. This condition is called erythroblastosis fetalis. It can be prevented by giving anti-Rh antibodies to the mother after first delivery. 10 Coagulation of blood. When we get a cut, blood does not flow continuously because blood forms a clot. Clotting prevents excessive blood loss. Main steps. Injury activates platelets. Platelets release clotting factors. Thrombokinase activates prothrombin. Prothrombin becomes thrombin. Thrombin converts fibrinogen into fibrin. Fibrin forms a network and traps blood cells. A clot is formed. Calcium ions are very important in clotting. Real-life example. When a road breaks, workers place barricades and repair material. Similarly, fibrin forms a net to stop blood loss. 11 Lymph. When blood passes through capillaries, some water and small soluble substances move out into tissue spaces. This fluid is called interstitial fluid or tissue fluid. The lymphatic system collects this fluid and returns it to major veins. The fluid inside lymph vessels is called lymph. Lymph is colorless and contains lymphocytes. Functions of lymph. Helps in exchange of nutrients, gases, and wastes. Carries lymphocytes for immunity. Transports nutrients and hormones. Absorbs fats through lacteals in intestinal villi. Real-life example. Lymph is like a drainage and backup transport system of the body. 12 Circulatory pathways. There are 2 types of circulatory systems. Open circulatory system. Blood flows through open spaces or body cavities. Seen in arthropods and mollusks. Closed circulatory system. Blood always flows inside closed blood vessels. Seen in annelids and chordates. Closed circulation is more efficient because blood flow can be precisely regulated. 13 Evolution of heart in vertebrates. Fishes, 2-chambered heart, 1 atrium and 1 ventricle, single circulation. Amphibians and reptiles, 3-chambered heart, 2 atria and 1 ventricle, in complete double circulation. Crocodiles, birds, and mammals, 4-chambered heart, 2 atria and 2 ventricles, complete double circulation. Real-life example. As animals became more active and complex, their heart became more efficient. 14. Human circulatory system. Human circulatory system is also called the blood vascular system. It contains heart, blood vessels, blood. The heart is present in the thoracic cavity between the lungs, slightly tilted to the left. It is about the size of a clenched fist. The heart is protected by a double-walled membrane called pericardium, which contains pericardial fluid. Human heart has 4 chambers. Right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Atria are upper chambers. Ventricles are lower chambers. 15. Valves of the heart. Valves allow blood to flow only in one direction and prevent backflow. Important valves. Tricuspid valve, between right atrium and right ventricle. Bicuspid or mitral valve, between left atrium and left ventricle. Semilunar valves, present at openings of pulmonary artery and aorta. Real-life example. Valves are like one-way doors. They allow movement only in one direction. 16. Nodal tissue and pacemaker. The heart is made of cardiac muscles. It also has special nodal tissue that can generate electrical impulses. Important parts. SAN, sinoatrial node. Located in the right upper corner of right atrium. It generates maximum impulses, about 70 to 75 per minute. It controls heartbeat rhythm. So it is called the pacemaker. AVN, atrioventricular node. Located in the lower left corner of right atrium near the atrioventricular septum. AV bundle of His. Carries impulses from AVN to ventricles. Purkinje fibers. Spread impulses through ventricular muscles. Normal heart rate is about 70 to 75 beats per minute, average 72 beats per minute. 17. Cardiac cycle. Cardiac cycle means one complete sequence of heart contraction and relaxation. It includes atrial systole, ventricular systole, joint diastole. One cardiac cycle takes about 0.8 seconds. During each cycle, each ventricle pumps about 70 ml blood. This is called stroke volume. Cardiac output equals stroke volume times heart rate. Average cardiac output in a healthy person is about 5 liters per minute. Real-life example. A water pump pushes a fixed amount of water each time. Similarly, each heartbeat pumps a fixed volume of blood. 18. Heart sounds. During every cardiac cycle, 2 heart sounds are heard. Lub, closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Dub, closure of semilunar valves. These sounds are clinically important. Real-life example. When a doctor places a stethoscope on your chest, they listen to looped-up sounds to check heart function. 19. ECG, electrocardiogram. ECG is a graphical representation of electrical activity of the heart during a cardiac cycle. A standard ECG has waves. P wave, depolarization of atria, leading to atrial contraction. QRS complex, depolarization of ventricles, leading to ventricular contraction. T wave, repolarization of ventricles. By counting QRS complexes, heart rate can be calculated. ECG is clinically important because abnormal ECG shape can indicate heart disease. 20. Double circulation. Humans have complete double circulation. It has 2 pathways. Pulmonary circulation. Right ventricle rightward arrow pulmonary artery rightward arrow lungs rightward arrow pulmonary veins rightward arrow left atrium. It carries deoxygenated blood to lungs and returns oxygenated blood to heart. Systemic circulation. Left ventricle, rightward arrow, aorta, rightward arrow, body tissues, rightward arrow, veins, rightward arrow, vena cava, rightward arrow, right atrium. It supplies oxygen and nutrients to body tissues and removes carbon dioxide and wastes. Significance: oxygenated and deoxygenated blood do not mix. This makes transport efficient. 21 blood vessels. Blood vessels include arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries carry blood away from heart. Veins carry blood toward heart. Capillaries allow exchange of materials between blood and tissues. Blood vessels have 3 layers: tunica intima, tunica media, tunica externa. Veins have thinner tunica media than arteries. 22 special circulatory systems. Hepatic portal system. The hepatic portal vein carries blood from intestine to liver before entering systemic circulation. Coronary circulation. Special blood vessels supply blood to heart muscles. 23 regulation of cardiac activity. The heart is myogenic, meaning its normal activity is regulated by its own specialized muscles. The medulla oblongata can also control heart function through the autonomic nervous system. Sympathetic nerves increase heartbeat rate, contraction strength, and cardiac output. Parasympathetic nerves decrease heartbeat rate, conduction speed, and cardiac output. Adrenal medullary hormones increase cardiac output. 24 disorders of circulatory system. Hypertension. Normal BP is about 120/80 mmHg. Repeated BP of 140/90 mmHg or higher indicates hypertension. It can affect heart, brain, and kidneys. Coronary artery disease, also called atherosclerosis. It occurs due to deposits of calcium, fat, cholesterol, and fibrous tissue in coronary arteries, narrowing the lumen. Angina, also called angina pectoris. It causes acute chest pain when enough oxygen does not reach heart muscle. Heart failure. Heart failure means the heart is not pumping blood effectively enough to meet body needs. It is not the same as cardiac arrest or heart attack. Important question and answer section. Q1. Why is blood called a connective tissue? Blood connects different parts of the body by transporting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and wastes. It has plasma as matrix and formed elements, so it is called a connective tissue. Q2. What are the components of blood? Blood contains plasma and formed elements. Formed elements include RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. Q3. What is plasma? Plasma is the straw-colored fluid part of blood. It contains water, proteins, minerals, nutrients, and clotting factors. Q4. What are the major plasma proteins? Fibrinogen, globulins, and albumins. Q5. What is the function of fibrinogen? Fibrinogen helps in clotting of blood. Q6. What is serum? Plasma without clotting factors is called serum. Q7. What are RBCs? RBCs are red blood cells that contain hemoglobin and help in transport of respiratory gases. Q8. Why is spleen called graveyard of RBCs? Old RBCs are destroyed in the spleen, so it is called the graveyard of RBCs. Q9. What are WBCs? WBCs are white blood cells that help in immunity and defense. Q10. Name the 2 types of lymphocytes. B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. Q11. What are platelets? Platelets are cell fragments that help in blood clotting. Q12. What is ABO blood grouping? ABO grouping is based on presence or absence of A and B antigens on RBCs and antibodies in plasma. Q13. Which blood group is universal donor? O blood group is called universal donor. Q14. Which blood group is universal recipient? A blood group is called universal recipient. Q15. What is Rh factor? Rh factor is an antigen present on RBCs. People with it are Rh positive and people without it are Rh negative. Q16. What is erythroblastosis fetalis? It is a condition where Rh antibodies from an Rh negative mother destroy RBCs of an Rh positive foetus in later pregnancy. Q17. What is coagulation? Coagulation is the clotting of blood to prevent excessive blood loss after injury. Q18. What is lymph? Lymph is colorless fluid present in lymphatic vessels. It contains lymphocytes and helps in immunity and transport. Q19. Difference between open and closed circulation? In open circulation, blood flows into open spaces. In closed circulation, blood flows inside closed vessels. Q20. Why is closed circulation more efficient? Because blood flow can be regulated more precisely. Q21. How many chambers are present in human heart? 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. Q22. What is the function of valves in the heart? Valves prevent backward flow of blood. Q23. Why is SAN called pacemaker? SAN generates maximum impulses and maintains the rhythm of heartbeat. Q24. What is cardiac cycle? The repeated sequence of contraction and relaxation of atria and ventricles is called cardiac cycle. Q25. What is stroke volume? The amount of blood pumped by each ventricle in one cardiac cycle is called stroke volume. It is about 70 ml. Q26. What is cardiac output? Cardiac output is the amount of blood pumped by each ventricle per minute. It is about 5 liters per minute. Q27. What are loop and dub sounds? Loop is caused by closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Dub is caused by closure of semilunar valves. Q28. What is ECG? ECG is a graphical record of electrical activity of the heart. Q29. What does P-wave represent? P-wave represents depolarization of atria. Q30. What does QRS complex represent? QRS complex represents depolarization of ventricles. Q31. What does T-wave represent? T-wave represents repolarization of ventricles. Q32. What is double circulation? Double circulation means blood passes through the heart twice in one complete cycle, once through pulmonary circulation and once through systemic circulation. Q33. What is pulmonary circulation? It is circulation between heart and lungs. Q34. What is systemic circulation? It is circulation between heart and body tissues. Q35. What is hypertension? Hypertension is high blood pressure, usually 140/90 mmHg or higher in repeated checks. Q36. What is coronary artery disease? It is narrowing of coronary arteries due to deposits of fat, cholesterol, calcium and fibrous tissue. Q37. What is angina? Angina is chest pain due to insufficient oxygen supply to heart muscles. Q38. What is heart failure? Heart failure is a condition where the heart cannot pump blood effectively enough to meet body needs. Teacher. So students, today we studied blood, plasma, RBC, WBC, platelets, blood groups, clotting, lymph, heart structure, cardiac cycle, ECG, double circulation, and circulatory disorders. Student. Sir, now I understand this chapter like a transport system inside the body. Teacher. Excellent. For exams, revise the formed elements of blood, ABO blood group table, clotting steps, heart diagram, cardiac cycle, ECG waves, and double circulation. Student. The diagrams are very important, right, sir? Teacher. Yes. Draw neat diagrams, label clearly and write answers step by step. Teacher. If this lesson helped you, subscribe to the channel and watch the next biology chapter explanation. Keep learning, keep questioning,
Dear students, if you like simple study videos, chapter explanations, question and answer practice, and easy revision notes, please subscribe to our channel, save this playlist, and continue learning step by step. Your support motivates us to create more useful study-related videos. Thank you for watching, and keep learning.